For as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to create YouTube videos. But somewhere along the way, that dream faded. It faded, but it never really went away. In 2017, I filmed my first road trip with my friends. I also filmed the first time I went to Paris, to Colombia, to Florida, to Spain and Portugal. But none of these footages saw the light of day. In the past 6 years that I've filmed my first vlog, I've probably published about 3 to 5 vlogs. The rest of the footages are sitting on my hard drive, and sometimes I use them for my B-rolls for videos like this. But no matter what, I can't seem to shake the feeling of needing to film my day-to-day life, my routines, my travels, and my thoughts. And as I'm getting older and I'm learning how to slow down in life, I've realized that there's a reason for this. The reason is that it's because I need to do it. And if you have this nagging feeling too, I have a feeling that you might need to do it as well. So in today's video, I would like to share why and how I'm deciding to become the main character of my life, and how you can too. The limiting beliefs of becoming a YouTuber. I always thought that YouTubers were the coolest people on earth. I loved watching travel vlogs and lifestyle vlogs, and I loved the idea of filming the things you're up to, what you're doing, and just kind of showcasing it to other people. I've always felt jealous of these people, but at the same time, I've always felt inspired. But like so many of you who also want to become a YouTuber, I also had many feelings of doubt. I had thoughts like, my life isn't interesting enough, my English isn't good enough, I don't have a fancy camera, I don't have anything to talk about, I have too many things to talk about, I'm so interested in different things, and etc. And let me know if you have any of these thoughts when it comes to creating YouTube videos. But in the last 3 years that I've started creating content, whether that is through writing, blogging, or sit-down videos like this, I've learned that these thoughts are just thoughts, and these limiting beliefs are just beliefs that actually hold you back from your dreams. And without getting too deep into the psychology of this whole thing, the purpose of the limiting beliefs that you're having is really to protect you. It is not normal for someone to pick up their camera, talk to a camera, and then publish it for everybody to see. It's not normal. So the thoughts you're having is actually your brain protecting you not to do that. Imagine that you want to become a YouTuber and you want to vlog about your travels. You basically have to step out of your comfort zone, film in public, talk in public, and run the risk of people staring at you. If your brain is freaking out at the thought of that, that's good. It's protecting you. It's supposed to. In the old days, you wouldn't have survived if the tribe thought that you were different. If you wanted to do something different, you would have been casted out in the wilderness and you would have literally died. So naturally, humans evolved to stay with conformity. Unfortunately, our brain didn't evolve with the modern times. In the modern times right now, this protective mechanism of not letting you go out of your comfort zone isn't so useful anymore. Our brain still functions as if we still live in the caveman time where you have to stay in with your group so that you don't get casted out, and you need to stay in your comfort zone so that you don't die. So being a YouTuber in these days is kind of an anomaly. So your brain will try very hard to protect you to not become that. But what you need to understand is that your thoughts about becoming a YouTuber, or your limiting beliefs about becoming a YouTuber, are just that. They're just thoughts and beliefs. And like I've said, your brain is perceiving this whole thing as a threat, and therefore it will do everything in its power to hold you back. And this is something that I really wish somebody explained to me when I started creating content on YouTube, or just creating content in general. Now that you understand why your brain is doing this, or why you have these limiting beliefs, it's time to learn how to remove them. So how do you remove your limiting beliefs as an aspiring YouTuber? The first step in removing your beliefs is learning how to recognize them, or becoming aware of them. If you're not aware of the thoughts that are holding you back, then you can't change it, or you wouldn't want to change it. So for this step, I would encourage you to look at your thoughts. So if you're wanting to create videos on YouTube or creating content in general, figure out the things that are making you feel scared, or exactly what thought is making you feel scared, because in those thoughts is that you can start to learn how to kind of change the belief, because without the beliefs that are kind of driving your action, or without knowing what they are, it's very hard or difficult to actually change them so that you can create a different action. You also don't need to do anything at this point. You just need to learn how to recognize these thoughts and kind of detach them from who you are as a person. Once you have some awareness, the second step that you need to do is to learn how to accept them and also forgive yourself. Once in a while, I'll have thoughts like, oh, I wish I'd started my YouTube channel in 2017. Imagine where I would be right now. I imagine it would be very far, but at this point, there is nothing I can do right now. The only thing that I can do is to actually accept the fact that that didn't happen and also create a new plan so that I don't regret another 10 years of me not creating these videos. The third thing you need to do in order to remove your limiting belief is to find the proof of the opposite belief that you're having. So for example, if you have the current belief right now of I don't have a fancy camera or fancy equipment to start making videos, go online, go on YouTube and find people who are using their phone and whatever it is, whether that's iPhone or Samsung, to actually make videos and see how well they're doing or how well they're not doing. Because I bet you there's at least one person who is doing exactly what you want and they're actually succeeding in it. And maybe you'll have thoughts like, oh, they're successful because they have an interesting life and they're doing this and that, blah, 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 which are all excuses. But in reality, no, they're succeeding because they have a different mindset. They have a different beliefs than you, which is why they have a different result. They have managed to somehow change their belief set so that they can actually do the thing that they need to do in order to keep going for their dreams. So the fourth thing that you need to do is to create proof of your desired belief. So for example, if your goal is to have the belief of I can become a YouTuber with a phone, guess what you need to do? You need to actually use your phone to film and publish a video. And then just like that, you would have destroyed that belief that I can't film videos because I don't have a fancy equipment or fancy camera. And then you did it. You went ahead and created your first video using your phone. So whatever you were thinking at the beginning, it was merely a false belief. And the goal is to take notes of your limiting beliefs and basically do the opposite of that. So if you have thoughts or beliefs right now saying that, oh, I don't believe I can have 1,000 subscribers, go ahead and do the work and actually achieve that so that you can have the proof that yes, you can. So the more that you do this, the more that you create this proof of success of your desired beliefs, the stronger you'll believe in yourself. And I really think that's what separates the people who are successful in this game to people who aren't successful in this game, is that the belief in themselves. Anyways, I think knowing your limiting beliefs when it comes to creating YouTube videos is very important because it is such a hard journey and you're the only one who's going to be able to make this whole dream come true. Your job is to keep going against your lizard brain or that part of you who wants to protect you and listen to the higher version of you who is determined to make this whole thing come true. Why vlogging? In 2021, I started creating videos like this where I'm sitting down and talking about topics I knew about, like quitting my nursing job and writing and nursing and side hustles, etc. I've always stayed away from vlogging because successful YouTubers that I follow, like Ali Abdaal, have always mentioned that creating a vlogging channel or a vlog channel is quite difficult to grow, and if you're new on YouTube, you shouldn't start a vlog channel. And because I love listening to people who know more than me, that's exactly what I did. I stayed away from creating vlogs and focus solely on sit-down videos like this, educational and giving tons and tons of value to the viewer. But following other people's advice made me more confused than ever. I always had this feeling of, ooh, I really want to create these vlogs, but this person with million subscribers told me I shouldn't. I should listen to them, right? And the answer is no, wrong. While I love talking to the camera like this, I sometimes find it boring, and I don't want my channel to be about this one specific thing or one specific format, because I've learned the kind of personality that I have is that I need variety in life. To me, creating one specific type of video or format on YouTube is like having one type of food every single day. Bland, it's boring, it doesn't have depth into it. I like Japanese food, Italian food, Filipino food, Persian food. I love all these things and I want to be able to experience it. So in short, I need variety in life. But because of that one simple advice by Ali Abdaal and other YouTubers, I hesitated creating vlogs. But the truth is, I love the whole process of creating vlogs. I love filming and I love getting into the main character energy when I film my vlogs. I love the editing process. It feels quite therapeutic for me. For my sit-down videos, the editing process drains me, so I actually have to outsource the editing so that I can focus on things that bring me joy. But because I kept listening to other people's advice, I kept depriving of myself of that experience. I had the belief of you can't be successful if you make vlogs on YouTube. And this literally got ingrained in my brain. Whenever I created vlogs, I hesitated and I doubt myself, and I really didn't like that feeling. Imagine that you find something that you really enjoy and someone you respect or people tell you that, hey, you actually can't make money doing that, or you can't be successful doing that. But anyways, I did some inner work and I've decided to follow my own advice when it comes to removing my limiting beliefs and actually find the proof that people are actually successful in doing this. So I watch a lot of vloggers and I feel that they're doing fine. I don't need to be making $1 million on YouTube. I just need to be able to document my life and kind of be successful doing that. And also, I'm learning how to create my own proof of success in doing so. I believe that I can be successful no matter what videos I put out there. It's obviously a process, hence why I'm talking about this in real time. And I think it's a very good time because we're going into 2024. And if you are struggling with this whole thing too, I hope that you join me. This encourages you to also kind of follow your dreams when it comes to YouTube. And the last part when it comes to this whole thing is really the actionable part. And so I'd like to talk about how to become the main character of your life for the next year. The first thing you need to do is to embody the identity of a successful YouTuber. In the last 2 months, I've been learning how to embody, or I've been embodying the identity of the successful YouTuber version of myself. So there's me, Jerine, who is ambitious, but she waits for inspirations to come before she takes actions when it comes to creative endeavor. She doesn't really prioritize YouTube. I mean, she does it once in a while because she doesn't truly believe that it will work out. And then there is the higher self, Jerine, who is successful on YouTube and who is ambitious, but also at the same time, she takes action. She's quite systematic when it comes to YouTube. She works at least 30 minutes per day on her dreams because she sees her vision. She has a vision for what this can look like. And she trusts that no matter what happens, she's gonna learn something from the experience, whether she fails at it or she becomes successful at it. But she also knows that by taking an aligned action, there is no other way but success. She also knows that by putting this effort or action into her dreams, there's no other way but actually to be successful. So there are two versions of me. So every day I'm channeling that version of me who's successful on YouTube. And although that person has doubts, she still goes through with her plan because she trusts in herself and in the process. So I don't know your version of success on YouTube, but I imagine there is something in your mind, whether that is to create YouTube videos like this or vlogs or a mix of both or anything else for that matter. I want you to know that person or learn who that person is and kind of figure out what they're thinking and what videos they're creating and what topics are they excited about, and actually learn how to bring that into the present moment right now. The second thing I'm doing to embrace my main character energy in the next year is to talk about things that I'm actually passionate about. One of my biggest struggles on YouTube is the fact that I'm interested in many different things. I talk about on topics like writing, finance, relationships, nursing, and etc., which can feel quite confusing to the audience and also for myself. But the truth is, I want to live a full life, and living a full life to me means experiencing as many fun things as possible. And honestly, I think having different interests is a feature and not a bug. I follow productivity gurus like Matt Devella and of course Ali Abdaal, and sometimes their content feels quite repetitive to me and also boring. On the other hand, I love reading Ali Abdaal's newsletter, which is like in real time, because every time I open that newsletter, I know it's going to be something different. And that's the feeling I want to recreate for my audience. I want them to feel that they're growing with me, and I want to feel like I'm growing with them. So does this mean that I'm going to talk about whatever I want on any topic that I want? Absolutely not. I still want to make my life easy for myself and also not too confusing for my audience. So I've come up with a strategy that I think if you are struggling with this, having multiple interests might help you as well. So instead of a specific format or topic, my channel will have an overall arching theme of building a life that you absolutely love. So when I'm talking about my nursing experience, it will always ask the question of how is this topic relevant to building a life that you love? So for example, I can create videos on why I only work part-time in nursing. And this is relevant to building a life that I love because I don't want to work full-time in nursing, because I love making time for hobbies and my family and myself. So that still covers the whole theme of building a life that I love. Another example is the topic of finance. How does being wealthy relevant to building a life that you love? I can create videos on things I no longer spend at 28, because when you have a life that you absolutely love, you're not spending time and energy and money into things that no longer bring you joy. So it's still quite relevant to myself, to the theme that I'm kind of creating or putting out there, because the message that I believe in is that you should build a life that you absolutely love so that you can live your life to the fullest. So even though it looks like I'm creating different topics for different videos, I think that having this theme or an umbrella where I can kind of use the lens of building a life I absolutely love is so much more freeing for myself, and also I hope that to attract different types of people and different types of audience so that I can help them in whatever thing that they need in their life. So let me know what you think of this, and let me know if this is something that you like or hate, and if you want to steal this strategy if you're also a multi-passionate creator like myself. So third thing that you and I both need to do when it comes to becoming a main character is to embrace the mundane and interesting life. So I think in general, I have a fairly interesting life. I'm Filipina and I live in Canada. I speak 3 languages. I'm a nurse. I've done travel nursing. I write online and I create YouTube videos. But the problem sometimes, for example, right now is that I'm at home 5 days a week because I'm not doing travel nursing, and my life feels pretty mundane. I pick up nursing shifts about twice a week, but other than that, not really much happening in my life. But if this is my life right now, if it feels mundane, I have to learn how to create videos from this time. I can't be going and booking trips and travels so that I can create videos. I mean, that's just not realistic and practical with everything going so high when it comes to prices. Right now, my life feels pretty boring, but is it really boring? Or is it just what I think it is? Because I realized maybe it feels boring to me, but what if I created it in a way where it's visually engaging, and maybe to some people it actually might be interesting, because I've watched so many vlogs and people are just kind of living their life and staying at home and not doing all these routines, and for some reason it looks interesting to me. 2 weeks ago I made a vlog on how I'm embracing my being alone in my 20s, and that video has garnered about 1,000 views. I mean, 1,000 views is not a lot, but for myself, where I'm learning how to create vlogs, it's a lot. Usually I would get 100 to 200 views when it comes to my vlog videos in its lifetime, but this one, it's only been up for a week. It already has about 1,000 views. That's literally 10x, and all because I decided to embrace my mundane life in the now. And of course, my travel nursing lifestyle is interesting, and I know that can get more views, but to me, getting that 1,000 views on this mundane vlog is more meaningful, just because it was more fun to create, and I also thought that the video wouldn't get watched by anyone. So wherever you are in your life right now, I want you to create from this place. I don't care if you're living at your grandparents' house or your parents' house and you live in 1 bedroom, or you have this tiny space. Learn to figure out how to use the resources that you have right now to make this happen. Don't wait until you have a perfect life in order to show up online. The fourth and last thing that we need to do when it comes to embracing the main character energy is to prioritize inspiration. Prioritize getting inspired by yourself. Here's the thing. As a creative, your inspiration is your fuel. At least that's what I have learned about myself, is that when I'm not inspired, I cannot create. Simple as that. But the problem is there will be days where I don't feel inspired to film, to write, to ideate, and the inspiration is just not there. And obviously, if we want to be successful in this whole thing, we have to learn how to kind of create inspiration from ourselves if it's not there. And the way that I have learned to do this for myself is really by figuring out different activities that makes me feel inspired. So for example, I get really inspired when I read books, especially Brianna Wiss's books. I'm currently reading her book called The Pivot Year, and every morning that's part of my morning ritual is that I need to be reading her book. Second, if I feel that I'm very stagnant with my energy, I learn to move around, so I clean. And I used to hate cleaning. I used to think that it's a waste of my time. I could be doing anything else but this, but now I embrace cleaning, because when I'm cleaning, I'm focused on the present moment, and then when you're focused in the present moment, that's when kind of the inspiration comes, and that's a lot of where my ideas come. When you're showering, that also is very helpful. So I actually get a lot of my ideas from the shower, and going out for a nature walk, that also is something very easy that you can do, is to go for a 10-minute to 30 minutes walk and kind of just be focused again in the present moment. while you're doing that, and you'll be surprised how many ideas you get from that. Watching Netflix, that's also another activity that actually inspires me to create. Sometimes I'll watch K-dramas and I'll see these cool shots that people, or the cinematography basically, and I'll be like, oh, that's a cool shot, I'm going to steal that for my next vlog. I don't know what will inspire you, but I want you to learn the feeling of feeling inspired and kind of take a note of what you're doing in that moment, because I think that inspiration can come from anywhere, and your job as a creative, as a YouTuber, is to learn how to summon this feeling of inspiration, because it's always there. You just need to learn how to kind of channel it in the present moment so that you can actually create or do whatever it is that you need to do to make this whole thing work. I truly believe that our best work, or your best work, will come from a place of inspiration instead of feeling fearful or doubtful. So being inspired is a priority every single day. Anyways, I would love to know if there's anything that resonated with you in this long video. And if you've been struggling or been hesitating to create vlogs, I hope that this video has kind of gave you a little bit of push in order to do so. And don't forget to be kind to yourself and take it one day at a time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.